Thank you very much, Edgar. And
to Stockholm and to Epicenter. My name is Michael Lindvall, and I'm the head of the Africa Department at the Ministry for Foreign Affairs. With me today is Pia Rued, head of trade and promotion at the
how the world works. So that is what we are doing.
Yeah, what we're doing is in a collaborative way. So we're working both with local government resources and also the scale up to create a vibrant community and still have the power to execute. Thank you, Albert.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Everyone in the business delegation, please follow me and Princess Sarah.
Some very good words.
yes.
In this distinguished city of a great people, of a great civilization, of a great culture, a culture of modesty, a culture of efficiency, a culture of empathy. I was here in Sweden about 8 or 9 years ago, and I was amazed. The hotel rooms were modest but functional. Even our moderator, who anchored the program for a week, he had only one shoe. He was only changing the shirts. He had only one suit. And on the last day of the conversation, I was tempted, with all due apologies, with no intent to embarrass him, to say, "Gentlemen, I'm very proud of you. You are not a showy people." George Bernard Shaw said, "Progress is impossible without change. And those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything." The word for crisis in the Chinese language is Wei Des. Wei stands for opportunity, and De for change. Nigeria beckons at you. Nigeria is calling on you, and we are ready for business. The Swedes are a very humble people. We could be very loud people at times. The world is transiting to green economy. And global developments are trending towards Africa, and Nigeria will make or mar that transition. 220 million people. By 2050, Nigeria will surpass the United States, will be the third most populous nation on earth. And by the end of the century, when all of us here had become poor tenants in the home of the earthworms, Nigeria will be the most populous nation on earth. And there is beauty in numbers. People celebrate China fundamentally because of their numbers and their ingenuity. I can assure you that the Nigerian digital space, the Nigerian digital ecosystem is yearning for support and investment. I don't believe in handouts. I believe in partnership that works for all of us. And according to Korn Ferry, a global consultancy firm, by 2035, there will be 65 million global talent deficits. The United States, Brazil, and Russia will all suffer from 6 million talent deficits each. But Nigeria and Africa, Nigeria is a young nation. The average age of the Nigerian nation is 16.9. Hope springs eternal from the hearts of men. I'm an eternal optimist, but I'm also a realist. The anticipated demographic bulge in Nigeria, with your partnership, we are capable of transforming it into demographic dividends, not the much feared demographic disaster that will consume all of us. Once we harness the potentials of the youth, once we give them hope for a better tomorrow, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is hope for a better tomorrow. The highest, we are a monoproduct economy. The highest we have ever earned from the export of crude oil was 35 billion in 2011 when Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was the president of Nigeria. India is expected to earn over $100 billion from BPO alone this year. Apart from our unique status as a young nation, our proximity to Europe is an advantage. From the comfort of our homes in Okitipupa, in Sokoto, in Gusau, we can earn our living legitimately. So I believe Nigeria is where the action is. We have the talents. We have a very young, resilient, and resourceful population in Nigeria. And with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this is the best time to come and invest in Nigeria. Nigeria holds promise. There are more English speakers in Nigeria than in India. And by 2035, India, the BPO giant of the world, will have only 1 million surplus. But Nigeria holds the promise. With all due respect, we speak better English than the Indians. At least you can decipher. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. There is a prepared speech, but sometimes I prepare to speak from the heart. The Swedish ambassador is a wonderful lady. She had been on my back that you must come to Sweden. And because the Swedes do not suffer from any colonial hangover, you have the moral upper hand to reach out to us with a handshake. You have always extended to us a very warm and enthusiastic welcome. The President of Nigeria is someone who speaks your language, a private sector man. He grew up in that financial ecosystem. He was the financial controller for Mobil Oil. So he's not somebody, it's not a military combat to democracy, no. He has been a born Democrat. And some of our ministers and chief executives of government parastatals are some of the pioneers. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, that is his sport, he read international relations. The Minister of Communication is a young man in his 30s. He was the first person to set up a lab, a tech lab in Nigeria. Stand up for recognition. He also speaks your language. So the president deliberately paid attention to selecting women and the youth to fill up key positions in government. One of the drivers of change is NIDA. NIDA is headed by a very young man, Kashim Shettima. I saw him, yes. He's equally in his early 40s. Naseni is headed by a 32-year-old young man with a very big beard. You know, it's now fashionable for young men in Nigeria to wear beard. So I want to thank you. We are here to have very close, open interaction with the Swedish business community, with Team Sweden. I was mesmerized. I was overblown with the cohesive team. And all the speakers know their onions. And most importantly, all of them spoke for less than 5 minutes. Very sharp, concise, straight to the point, no showy business, no nothing. They spoke and took the lead. And this 45 man is a very lucky man indeed. If I have the money that he has, I will invest in Paystack, Andela, Interswitch. These are some of the unicorns in Nigeria that are doing well, that are worth over $1 billion. The most capitalized bank in Nigeria is Zenith Bank. It's over 30 years old. But the capitalization of Interswitch is greater than that of Zenith Bank. That goes to show that the digital space is the future. Africa missed the agricultural age. We miss the industrial age. We are now in the knowledge-driven fourth industrial revolution. Identify with this Spotify investor. We can leapfrog. And the time is now. I want to thank you once again from the bottom of my heart on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for opening your doors to us to have this meaningful conversation. We are here to build relationships. We are not here with a cup in hand begging for pittance, no. We are here on a pedestal of equality as business partners, as investors, because we have what it takes. And to the Nigerian business community, very young people, they are here to consummate relationships. Allah Puts has invested in Kaduna State. They are doing well. So when you hear about Nigeria, it goes beyond the theatrics in the social media. Some of our young men, tend to amplify the negativities. No. We have our own challenges, and in the fullness of time, we are going to overcome those challenges. But it's not a nation of rocks and criminals. It's not as insecure as people are making others to believe. I can assure you that Nigeria is the place to go because of the numbers, because of the can-do spirit of the Nigerian people, the resilience, the swashbuckling style of Nigerians. You are a very humble people. We are by nature very loud people. So with all your apologies, when people celebrate some African nations, honestly, I applaud those nations. Rwanda is doing excellently well. It's an outlier nation in Africa. Mauritius, Seychelles, Botswana. But what is the population of Botswana? 3.4. What is the population of Seychelles? Less than 200,000 people. What is even the population of Rwanda? Is 14 million. You can get 14 million in 3 local councils in Lagos alone. So I want you to look at the larger perspective about the future, about tomorrow, not now. Thank you so much for listening.